welcome us. That's what we need from you. We need that. You come from a free space.
Dear friends of Cuba, it's always very moving to be back in Harlem. There are many events which make us feel closer to this place, and it's very comforting to see that we are all together gathered here. Cubans and Americans remembering events that occurred several decades ago, whose impact has profoundly marked several generations. I would like to thank all of our friends of the Solidarity Movement with Cuba for their initiative to convene this celebration in remembrance of a meeting between two historical leaders, Malchom X and Fidel Castro, 50 years ago today. I would particularly like to recognize Rosemary Neely and all of the members of the committee for the commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the meeting between Malchom and Fidel. I was reviewing some chronicles and notes of the events occurred right here around September 19, 1960. On that occasion, events were very strongly influenced by the Cold War. In the agenda of the United Nations General Assembly, there were items that today don't seem very far away in time. Disarmament, the independence of Algeria, the admission of the new members, the agrarian reform proposed by the Cuban Revolution, the discontinuation of nuclear and thermonuclear tests, the racial conflict in Southern Africa, and the Korean issue, among others. Measures were applied to the leader of the Cuban Revolution, Commander-in-Chief Fidel Castro, and his delegation to restrict their movement and action. That had been their first visit to the United Nations. His eviction from the Shelburne Hotel and the successive refusals of the hotel management in New York to accommodate the Cuban delegation revealed the streams reached by the American campaigns and pressures against the rising Cuban revolution. Quite a few there to criticize, even in the press, those irrational actions. Many sent notes and letters. But testimonies from the times show that nothing could compare with the emotion, the enthusiasm, and the spontaneous welcome by the Cuban Revolution supporters in New York, the most progressive persons, the Cuban residents who mobilized to receive the Cuban delegation. There were also Dominicans who opposed to him, the Puerto Ricans, and the new friends of the island without Batista. In the midst of that officially hostile environment, the solidarity expressed by the Afro-American community was transcendental and in its own right has passed down on history as well. Under the leadership of Malchom, it welcomed with sincere hospitality and friendship the Cuban delegation at the Theresa Hotel in Harlem. It was the place where the historical meeting between Malchom and Fidel took place, which became a genuine expression of the political solidarity of the Afro-American people towards the Cuban people. The warm and mass welcome offered by the people in Harlem and by the hotel management marks forever the ties between the Cuban revolutionary and the Afro-American progressive people. After meeting with Fidel in his hotel room, Malchom X stated to the New York Press that Prime Minister Castro had expressed he was opposed to lynching, which was more than what President Eisenhower had done. He added that Castro had adopted a more open stand in favor of the civil rights of black Cubans. Afterwards, in a speech delivered in Detroit in November 1963, when speaking about the Cuban Revolution, Malchom said, "The Cuban Revolution, that's a revolution. They overcame the system." sent on May 24, 1990 to the Afro-American people, other minorities and sectors in solidarity with Cuba, at a meeting with the U.S. delegation attending the forum. Malcolm X speaks in the 1990s. Fidel remembered about that meeting and said, "I always remember when I met with Malcolm X at the Hotel Theresa, because he was the one who gave us support and made it possible for us to be accommodated there. We had two choices. One was the patio of the United Nations. When I told this to the Secretary General, he was horrified at the thought of a delegation camping in tents there. And then we received Malcolm X's offer. He had talked to one of our comrades, and I said, that is the place, Hotel Theresa. And there we went, so I have personal memories of him." And he further added, "I would like to say that we have always been in solidarity with the struggle of the black people, the minorities, and all the poor people in the United States. We have always been in solidarity with them, and they have always been in solidarity with us." And Fidel continued, "I might say that we should struggle to defeat the campaign, the intrigues, the lies, all of that which attempts to separate us. I think that in this moment we need this friendship more than ever. And we need your solidarity more than ever. We appreciate it very much because I understand that one has to be very brave in the United States to organize a demonstration in favor of Cuba." Those words are today very much valid. The campaigns and hostility against the Cuban Revolution continue. The blockade remains intact and is fully implemented. There is still a double standard when it comes to fighting terrorism. An example of that are today the 5 Cuban anti-terrorists who are still unjustly imprisoned in the United States, while Posada, Carriles, and the others who bear responsibility for terrorist actions against Cuba are free. Therefore, just as it happened 50 years ago, the role of solidarity movement in support of the Cuban Revolution is crucial. From this place where the Theresa Hotel was, Fidel wrote the historical speech he delivered at the UN General Assembly, inspired not only by the just cause supported by the millions of Cubans in the island, but also by the civil rights struggles that were waged here in the United States, and the warmth he could perceive from the slogans chanted by demonstrators who stayed for several days right across the entrance of the forever historical building. Fidel spoke at the UN on September 26 in the afternoon, and there are many phrases in his speech which are still remembered. Some are still valid even today, as for example, do away with the philosophy of plunder, and you may have done away with the philosophy of war. Today, that same firm voice of our historical leader is heading an international appeal for peace and the warning about the risk that a military aggressions against Iran would have for the world, which will place it at the verge of a nuclear war. On a day like today, we could not but pay tribute to a very close friend of the Cuban Revolution and of the Cuban people, dear Reverend Lucius Walker, who continues to be present among ourselves as an undying symbol of friendship, solidarity. The struggle, our best tribute, cannot be other than continuing our struggle inspired by his example. The Cuban people moves on, determined to keep on defending our socialism without forgetting our debt with the people that have expressed their solidarity with ours, as shown by the tens of thousands of cooperation workers who are today working in more than 70 countries all over the world, including Haiti, where fraternal Cubans and Americans, some of them present in this celebration, have concerted their efforts to help that sister nation. Thanks to all for being here today. Thanks for so many years of solidarity with my people. Thanks to our friend Lucius. Although he has not been able to accompany us physically as he used to do, today he is ever more present. Long live peace. Long live the friendship between the Cuban and the American people. Long